There we go. This is Stacy McKibben with the Master Communicator podcast, where CEOs, senior leaders, and C-suite executives share their advice. It's 6 questions in 9 minutes because the best leaders know how to share their ideas concisely and quickly. Let's jump right in. Question number 1. In a few sentences, tell me who you are and what you do.
My name is Templeton Sawyer, and I am a Vice President Communications at Mountain Vincent University Students Union.
My goodness, how long have you been doing that?
Well, I've actually been doing that for just 1 year right now, and I'm actually growing into this position, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
That's amazing. Well, we're really excited to hear your perspectives. And I love, somebody new to their current role, kind of thinking about it through that lens. It'll be interesting perspectives.
For sure.
Question 2, what's the best thing about leading people from your perspective?
One thing I would say in leading people is that you get to see the growth step in each step of the way and seeing them taking on brave skills and brave projects, and also being a guide and a mentor to them so that they can succeed. And yeah.
I love the words you use there, brave, because I think a lot of times it does take courage on their part to try out new things and to try on new skills. And the clunky part of that process, right, can be uncomfortable and, challenge people to stay within their comfort zone if they don't like that.
For sure, for sure,
That,
for
that
sure.
bravery is critical. I often hear from other leaders that business would be great if it weren't for that pesky people part. I'm curious, what are your thoughts about that, especially being a newer leader or a younger leader?
For me, I would say people is everything.
Mm-hmm.
There's one thing that my mom always shared with me. She said, "You always respect the person that's in the lower seat and someone who's in the higher seat." And I always say that people, without persons involved, without staff involvement, without persons who are in the facilities management, without them, the organization would never be fully complete without all the missing parts to be connected.
I totally agree. I don't know how you do it without the people to begin with, right? I
Yes,
think, the people kind of bring the spice of life, if you will, in a lot of cases,
yes, for sure.
even if it's a little picante.
Yes, yes. Even if it's a little bit content for sure, for sure.
What piece of advice about communication would you give to other leaders? I'm curious.
I would say, listen. You must learn how to listen when communicating, and don't make assumptions. Every time when either your employees or either your friend um, listen to what they're saying versus where you're trying to take the message, or where you're trying to take the situation that you're trying to solve or communicate to them. So yeah, listen and don't make assumptions.
Have you ever had where assumptions have gotten you into trouble?
Oh yes, yes. I've learned from those experiences. What I always ask, and I said, before we go on, can I ask if this is what you're saying, and you can tell me if you're correct, if I'm correct or not. So like, I try to let them answer my assumption instead of actually making the assumption for them. So yeah,
So validate is what I'm hearing you say.
yeah,
Hear it, repeat back, and validate that your interpretation is indeed what they were intending.
for sure, yes,
I like that. Great suggestion.
yes.
What other successful business leaders like yourself should be on the podcast? Now here what I'm really looking for is, who are you paying attention to? What other community leaders are out there that are carrying the bag like yourself, but they're out there making it happen every day?
I would say I'm from the beautiful islands of the Bahamas, and so
Oh,
I also wanna I recommend one of the great leaders. Her name is Kishelle Davis, and she is an executive coach for a training authority in the Bahamas, and where she's coaching and training young people and training industry people in the area of public speaking, customer service, Excel, and different other sections of life. And so she's just there to empower people, and I see as a mentor to me, and she's been there every step of the way. So I'll recommend her for sure. Yeah,
That's amazing. I love having voices like that on the show that are so powerful and leading the way, you know.
for sure, for sure.
All right, magic question number 6 for you.
Mhm.
Tell us about your favorite boss or teacher. Who's really influenced you?
Well, my favorite boss and teacher I consider to be my mother, because she has been the pathway. She was actually my grade 4, 5, and 6 teacher, and she served as principal of the school down in the Bahamas. And so I couldn't get away with anything. And so, to be honest, she's been that guide for me. And even after primary school, I had to go to elementary school. And even while in elementary school, she's still being that guide and that principal and someone just to help me and to mentor me along the way. And as today, I still look up to her for advice and just ask her, hey, I need some advice on this as a leader, leading other people. So yeah.
A little shout out to all the moms out there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. For sure.
They're good peeps for sure. Well, that's great. Well, Templeton, it's been such a pleasure to have you on the show. I've loved all of your ideas and insights. How can people find you if they want to reach out and say hi or learn more about you and what you do?
So to learn more about me, you can reach out to me on my LinkedIn.
Mhm.
So it's Templeton Sawyer, Templeton Tyler Sawyer. Yes.
Very cool. Well, I do hope folks go check you out, or at least nothing, go say hi and see how things are shaking in Canada or the Bahamas. Um, and until next time, this is Stacey McKibben with the Master Communicator podcast. For more ideas and insights, please do go check us out at www.concilioteam.com. We look forward to seeing you again next time. Take care.